Intro hook spoken directly to viewers. He paid for her bread and walked away, never expecting anything in return. Asterisk years later, when his life crumbled, a stranger stepped in, asterisk, and with just 4 words, "You helped my mother." His world changed forever, asterisk, this story. Asterisk, it's proof that kindness never disappears, it ripples and finds its way back. Asterisk, if you believe in quiet goodness and unexpected miracles, please like this video and subscribe to Everyday Grace, where compassion writes the most beautiful stories. Part 1, The Bread and the Blanket, asterisk. The rain was unforgiving that afternoon, cold, relentless. It poured over the narrow alleyways of the old city like grief. Asterisk, at a small bakery on the corner of 5th and Hollow Street, Thomas Rita, 19-year-old with a stitched-up jacket and work-worn boots, pressed 2 crumpled dollar bills on the counter, asterisk. He had been working double shifts in construction to help his mom pay the rent. His father had passed when he was just a boy, and Thomas had grown up faster than most, asterisk. He looked behind him in the shop, where an old woman stood soaked to the bone, her thin fingers trembling as she counted coins with a shaking hand, asterisk. The cashier's face was hard. "It's not enough." Asterisk, she looked down, embarrassed. Her plastic bag held nothing but a loaf of bread and a can of soup. Asterisk, Thomas didn't hesitate. He turned back, reached into his pocket for his lunch money, and set it quietly on the counter. "Take what she needs," he said. The old woman looked up, stunned. Her eyes welled. "You don't have to." "I want to," Thomas interrupted. Gently. Asterisk, she touched his arm. "Bless you, child." Asterisk, he simply smiled and left without a name, unaware that the moment he gave would begin something far greater than he could imagine. Part 2. Years and struggles. 10 years passed. Thomas was now 29, still kind, still honest, but life hadn't been kind in return. Asterisk, he had dreams once of owning his own carpentry shop, of building things with his hands, homes, memories, futures, but life had other plans. His mother had gotten sick, cancer, bills piled high. The economy turned and Thomas lost his job. He sold his tools to pay for her medicine, sold the car. Next, asterisk, he started doing odd jobs, window repair, loading trucks, anything to get by, asterisk, but as his mother's condition worsened, the weight of it all began to crush him. Asterisk, one cold October morning, after a long night at the hospital, Thomas stood outside a grocery store with his last few dollars. Asterisk, he didn't need much, just milk, bread, and something small to bring his mother comfort. Asterisk, he reached the front of the line when the cashier scanned the items and said, "That'll be $12.86. Thomas only had $10. He looked down, ready to return the bread, asterisk, but before he could speak, a hand tapped his shoulder. "I've got it," said a young woman behind him. He turned, surprised. She looked about 23, dressed in simple clothes, with eyes that held something familiar, something soft, asterisk. "You don't have to," he said, echoing words he once heard himself, asterisk. She smiled. "I want to." He stared for a moment, confused, grateful. "Why?" he asked. Asterisk, her voice didn't waver. "You helped my mother when no one else did." Thomas blinked. "I'm sorry?" Asterisk, she nodded. "She told me about a young man who paid for her bread during a storm, years ago. She said she never forgot. She said that act gave her strength, gave her hope." The girl took a deep breath. "She passed last year. But before she did, she told me, if you ever get the chance to help someone the way he helped me, do it. Because kindness never disappears." Asterisk, Thomas was speechless. His hands trembled, but not from cold. Asterisk, they talked. She introduced herself, Lena Carter. Her mother had lived on Hollow Street for decades. That rainy afternoon had been a turning point in her life. After Thomas helped her, she joined a local shelter, started volunteering, and eventually got back on her feet. Asterisk, now Lena worked as a social worker. And she had just the opportunity Thomas needed. Part 3, full circle. Asterisk, 1 week later, Lena helped Thomas apply for a city-sponsored small business grant for underprivileged tradesmen. Asterisk, "I believe in what you do," she told him, and what you did. Thomas got the grant. He started his own small carpentry shop. It wasn't much at first, a rented garage and second-hand tools, but it was his. He hired 2 others who had struggled just like him, built furniture with his own hands, made enough to bring his mother home for hospice care, when she passed. Peacefully in her sleep, she was surrounded by warmth, not only of blankets but of a life built on kindness. Years went by. Thomas's shop grew. His story spread. People came to him not just for tables and chairs, but for the story. The ripple. And Thomas? He never stopped giving. He donated furniture to shelters, repaired homes for the elderly, taught free carpentry classes to high school kids who had nothing but dreams. And in every act, there was a whisper of the past, of bread, of rain, of a young man who believed that doing good mattered. Even when no one was watching, the message, the ripple. Dear listener, kindness is never wasted. It may seem small in the moment, a loaf of bread, a smile, a warm hand in the cold, but kindness ripples. It travels further than we can see, touches more lives than we'll ever know, and returns to us in ways we never expect. So be the one who gives without asking. Help without needing credit, because one day when you least expect it, the ripple will return and wrap you in the very love you once gave away. If this story touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe to Everyday Grace. We tell stories that make you feel again, that remind you goodness still exists in this world. Stay kind. Keep the ripple going.